Welcome to Ask Anything. Today's question is a tough one, but one I think we've all pondered at some point in life, or maybe asked in different ways. And the question is, why does God allow suffering? This can be a challenging question, but I want to share two perspectives when we might find ourselves asking that question. First, why there is suffering, and secondly, how God can use our suffering for good. Firstly, we see that suffering entered the world through the fall when Adam and Eve disobeyed God in the Garden of Eden. This original sin brought about a broken relationship with God and introduced suffering, pain, and death into the world. Romans 5 verse 12 says, "Therefore, just as sin came into the world through one man, and death through sin, and so death spread to all men because all sinned." As well, we see that God gave us free will, which means we can choose evil and bring suffering upon ourselves. So this is how we see suffering came into the world. But despite this, we see throughout Scripture and in our own life that God uses suffering to achieve greater purposes. Suffering can lead to spiritual growth, character development, and a deeper reliance on God. James 1 verse 2-3 says, "Consider it pure joy, my brothers and sisters, whenever you face trials of many kinds, because you know that the testing of your faith produces perseverance." Suffering also allows us to experience God's comfort and extend that comfort to others, as we see in 2 Corinthians 1 verse 3-4. It also helps realign us with God's purposes, reminding us of our dependence on Him. It can strip away distractions and self-reliance, prompting a deeper understanding of God's sovereignty and a renewed focus on His will. The ultimate example of God using suffering for a greater purpose is seen in Jesus Christ's crucifixion. Though sinless, Jesus suffered and died to redeem humanity from sin, fulfilling God's redemptive plan. And Romans 8 verse 18 reminds us that our present sufferings are nothing compared to the glory awaiting us. Although suffering is a part of this life, our hope lies in the eternal promise where all things will be made right. And now, trapped in the strip club industry, Dana discovered a life-changing God and new mission of hope and healing.